So, Pakistan is, I think, second last on this global gender gap index. So, I think Yemen is the country below us. We are for 147 out of 148 countries. And they they measure that global the gender gap through four key areas. One is economic participation, one is access to health, one is access to education, and the last is participation in the political structures of the country, right? So they look at all of that, and so obviously we, as a country, need to acknowledge. I think we need to acknowledge that there is a problem, that we have not yet managed to really provide that equality of opportunity for women and for girls in this country. And the result that is that we have sort of a labor force participation rate of under, I think, 20%. So when women cannot contribute to your economic growth, or when they cannot contribute to social change, to change for to environmental protection, to opportunities, to be able to, be it in the private sector or in the government sector, to be able to really bring their ideas and their viewpoint to the table, to be listened to, and so that laws and policies and practice, implementation of those laws and policies becomes the norm. Then you will have a situation which we are facing now, which is that women continue to be underpaid, they continue to be, they're not welcome in the public space, right? So if you look at what a public space is, it could be a market, it could be the Senate or the National Assembly, it could be government department at the district level or at the provincial level. You will see very few women there, and because you see few women, their voices are hidden or not heard. And I think there is a mindset also over here that women shouldn't be in these places. So I think we need to change the mindsets. So, there's been a little bit of research that is happening now recently, which is showing that actually women are being more impacted by COVID, and the impact is far worse on them. A lot of it, when you look at poor working women, a lot of times, if factories, if other sorts of private sector companies need to retrench staff or need to lay off people, slow down their operations, which they've had to do over the last 6 months, the women are the first to lose their jobs, right? A lot of times. And because women are much more present in the informal economy, so there are no formal contracts, there are no formal agreements. So it's not that you say that, okay, here you go, your contract is, we cannot keep you on, but you will get a 1 month's salary or whatever in lieu, and we're letting you go today or whatever. With informal workers, those kind of contracts don't exist. And so they are really, they face complete loss of income, like immediate loss of income, as opposed to a more sort of, a slower decline, which for men, there is, men have a better opportunity in that way. So I have been working in the development sector for the last over 20 years now. And I think it has been my passion since I was, I think, 14 or 15. It would upset me when I would see children on the streets. I think that's what pushed me after college to try and understand what is development in Pakistan. I joined a few local small NGOs right at the beginning, and that gave me an understanding of what kind of work I was interested in doing. And so today, after sort of over 20 years in the sector, I work with this. It's a company called the Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund, and it is an apex organization within the development sector. And we sort of focus on really trying to alleviate the multiple dimensions of poverty. So we work in the poorest regions of the country. We do a mapping, so we understand which are the poorest regions. We understand which are the poorest households. We use data. And then we try and develop some kind of basic services for them, and we try and offer them certain kinds of economic support. And what we try and do is get them to stand on their own feet. So, if it's livelihood support, we can maybe transfer an asset to them. An asset could be livestock, could be, gai, bakriya, or it could be even things like sewing machines or rickshaw or something like that. And alongside that, we give them training so that they can actually develop a small business for themselves with the asset that we've given.